Base 4 hit. Twin overhead, Cam. 600 horse.
Mad Max is the grandfather of dystopian cinema. Released in 1979 on a shoestring budget, it launched a franchise that would reshape action filmmaking forever. But here's the twist. The version you've seen is missing pieces. Scenes were cut. Characters were erased entirely. Casting decisions that almost happened would have changed everything. Did you know that one of the film's most important characters was written out completely, yet his name still appears on Max's car? Today, we're uncovering 14 hidden truths about Mad Max 1979, including a chilling connection to Mad Max Fury Road that ties together 40 years of the franchise in one shocking reveal. Stick around. Number 1. The Dark One Ghost, a deleted character haunting the final film. The Dark One was originally Max's partner, and the subject of the story Goose tells at the beginning. A cop who crashed through a windshield and tried to scream with his face ripped off. Screenwriter James McCausland and director George Miller wrote the character into early drafts to show how brutal the world had become. But he was cut entirely, and the character who deals with a severed hand was changed to Ziggy, the local sheriff. Here's the eerie part. The line, "May, call the Dark One," remains when Jesse runs back from the beach, and his name still appears on the fender of the Interceptor. For 47 years, audiences have been hearing a ghost
the tree, right? And then bounces back through the windscreen.
reference a character who no longer exists in the film. It's a phantom limb of the original script, and casual viewers never catch it. Number 2. The creekbed scene, deleted but immortalized in the sequel. One deleted scene showed Max stopping at a creekbed to tend to his wounds, before going after Johnny the Boy. It was cut from the original release, but was later used in the sequel's opening montage. This scene was essential to Mad Max 2's opening, showing Max broken and hunted, already becoming something less than human. George Miller had shot it, edited it out of the first film to maintain pacing, then dusted it off and rewove it into the next film's DNA. It's a rare example of a director using deleted footage to directly bridge two films in the franchise. Number 3. The Beefly FC cut, 48 seconds that almost got the film banned. The original UK cinema and certified video releases were cut by 48 seconds by the British Board of Film Classification
There's more?
to prevent the film from being banned, because X was the highest rating at the time. They edited the scene where the bikers tear up the hot rod with the terrified couple inside.
Him, Baba. You are going back for him.
Instead, the scene cut to black as the bikers smashed the first window and resumed on the bird hovering overhead. British censors wanted to obscure the violence. The most brutal part, the implications, had to be left to the audience's imagination. It took until 1992 for UK audiences to see the uncut Australian version. Number 4. Mel Gibson's invisible first act, 23 years old and utterly unknown. When George Miller cast Mel Gibson in 1979, Gibson was 23, and essentially a nobody. No bankable name, no track record. Gibson's star-making role in Mad Max came from pure talent and Miller's gamble on an unknown.
I suppose you don't need a sense of humor with a pretty face.
In the US, where the film was dubbed over with American accents to mask the Australian dialogue, Gibson's youth and rawness could have sunk the entire production. Instead, he became the face of a franchise that would define his career. Number 5. George Miller's medical license, financing the film, one ER shift at a time. George Miller sold his medical equipment to finance the movie. He was an emergency room doctor moonlighting as a filmmaker. George Miller raised the money for Mad Max by working as an emergency room doctor. George Miller, an ER doctor at the time, witnessed traumatic road accidents, which influenced the brutal realism of the film's car crashes. Every brutality in the film, the burning, the mangling, the senseless chaos, came from Miller's real trauma in the Sydney ER. He didn't imagine the violence. He'd seen it. That authenticity is why Mad Max
Hey fella, you're a turkey, you know that?
still holds up today. Number 6. The Deleted Massacre, why Max's police station friends vanish. One deleted scene was said to have the biker gang return to Main Force Patrol headquarters and kill the remaining MFP officers.
You made
He
the
was
news
awaiting
here.
arraignment on charges relating to the slaying of a main force.
That may explain the absence of Max's comrades when he goes hunting for the bikers. Audiences notice Max is entirely alone when he pursues Toe Cutter's gang. The film offers no explanation. Miller shot the massacre at the MFP station but cut it for pacing and budget.
The courts will hear about this, I promise you.
It means the film's logic is broken if you think too hard about it. The deleted scene would have justified Max's isolation perfectly, but Miller's lean editing meant audiences had to live with the gap. Number 7. The Judy Davis myth, a lie that became trivia gold. Judy Davis was said to have auditioned for the role of Jessie and passed over, but George Miller has declared she was only there to accompany her classmates Mel Gibson and Steve Bisley. For years, film trivia sites claimed Davis was considered for the female lead. It was a complete fabrication. She wasn't auditioning, she was just a student hanging out with friends on a film school trip.
I reckon you ought to connect the doohickey to the gizmo.
The rumor became so entrenched that even databases carried it. George Miller had to explicitly deny it in interviews. The power of a false fact in cinema lore is terrifying. Number 8. Craig Hemsworth almost crashed the party, the father of 3 blockbuster sons. Craig Hemsworth, father of Chris, Liam, and Luke Hemsworth, almost joined the cast of this film as part of Toe Cutter's biker gang, but he had to drop out due to his commitments to university. Can you imagine? One of the Hemsworth brothers' father could have been in the original Mad Max. He chose to finish his degree instead. Years later, his sons would become some of Hollywood's biggest action stars. The irony is thick. Number 9. Breakaway props? We can't afford them. Smash real wood. Money was so tight that the crew couldn't afford a breakaway prop door, so the actors had to break through solid wood.
What's the matter with you?
When you see the gang smashing through barriers in the film, they are literally ramming solid timber. There was no safety, no fake glass, no stunt department padding. Miller and producer Byron Kennedy ran on hope and adrenaline. Every hit in Mad Max was real impact, which is why the violence feels so primal even now. Number 10. Silent film with sound. George Miller's cinematic philosophy. Buried in the audio. George Miller intended to create a silent film with sound, leaning on the highly physical work of silent movies to achieve the visual kineticism he was trying to achieve. This explains why Mad Max has so much visual storytelling and so little dialogue. The frame tells the story.
I couldn't tell him about it then, but I can tell you about it now.
Faces tell the story. The crashes and chaos tell the story. Words are secondary. This philosophy runs through every frame and explains why a low-budget Australian film made on a shoestring could compete with Hollywood tentpoles. Number 11. The bedroom edit. George Miller in isolation, cutting the film himself. Miller edited the film in his own bedroom just to emphasize the lo-fi nature of the beast. Not in a studio lot, not with a post-production team. In a bedroom with a Moviola or flatbed editor, Miller shaped the entire film by himself. That personal touch, that obsessive control, is baked into every cut. No executive interference. No studio notes, just a doctor-turned-filmmaker cutting a revolution in a bedroom in Melbourne. Number 12. Extras paid in beer. How Miller made crowds on nothing. Most of the extras used in the film were paid in beer. The motorcycle gang members, the crowd scenes, the background players.
I can't. No!
They showed up for free drinks. This was guerrilla filmmaking at its most literal. Miller couldn't afford SAG rates or catering. He had beer. That's what the anarchic motorcycle gang in Mad Max represents in part. Actual chaos and desperation, not Hollywood choreography. Number 13. The novelization expansion. The story George Miller never filmed. There is a novelization of the movie, which expands on character thoughts and motivations, but no major departures from the film's plot. The novel deepens Max's interior life in ways the film deliberately avoids. It's an alternate version of the story that exists only in print.
I didn't leave much of him.
Must have cut his heart out.
Readers get access to Max's psychology. Film audiences don't. Miller's silence is intentional. Number 14. Hugh Keays-Byrne's Time Loop, From Toe Cutter to Immortan Joe. Hugh Keays-Byrne, who plays Toe Cutter, went on to play Immortan Joe in Mad Max, Fury Road, 2015. Think about that. The same actor played the villain who destroys Max's family in 1979, and the warlord ruling the wasteland 36 years later.
It's him, Baba. You are going back for him.
It's not explicitly a callback, Miller never confirms it, but Keays-Byrne is the thread connecting the opening of Max's madness to its culmination in Fury Road. The franchise's villain DNA runs through one actor across 4 decades. Mad Max is not a story about cars or chases. It's about the moment a good man becomes a monster, because the world has already become one. The studio wanted a simple revenge thriller. Miller gave them an apocalypse. Every deleted scene, every censored frame, every piece of forgotten production trivia adds up to one truth.
Turkey.
Hey, fella, you're a turkey. You know that?
George Miller made a revolution on pocket change and willpower, and the film's power comes from what was left out, as much as what was left in. If George Miller showed up at your door tomorrow with a 16mm camera and no budget, would you trust him to make the next masterpiece? Subscribe. Every week we uncover the secrets Hollywood buried in the films you thought you knew.